Good evening. The time is 6:30 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 11th. I'd like to call this a regularly scheduled planning and zoning meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Delory.
Here.
Mata. Onken.
Here.
Guerra.
Here.
Stiegel. Here. James.
Here.
Chase.
Here. Thank you. We have a quorum. Item number 3, minutes. 3A, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes for March 28th, 2023, regular meeting.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
motion to approve item 3A.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Vice Chair Chase, seconded by Commissioner James. Is there any discussion on that motion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4, citizen comments. This time, any members of the public who would like to speak, we invite you up now. You may come up and speak. We ask that you limit your time to 3 minutes, that you state your name for the record, and that you fill out a citizen comments form. Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and close citizen comments. Citizen comments is now closed. Item number 5, consent agenda. We have items A through D on consent agenda.
With the motion,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve items 5A through 5D.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner James, seconded by Vice Chair Chase. Is there any discussion on that motion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes. Item number 6, consider and possible action. 6A, consider request by Brett Corwin of Intermandeco GP LLC to remove trees associated with the Paramount Section 4 subdivision plans. We have heard from the applicant that they've asked to postpone this item, so I would like to make a motion to postpone this item until the applicant is ready to move forward. Thank you. It's been moved by myself, seconded by Commissioner Stiegel. Is there any discussion on that motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7, public hearing. 7A, the first of 2 public hearings by the Planning and Zoning Commission for the purpose of receiving testimony, comments, and written evidence from the public regarding a comprehensive plan amendment to amend approximately 26 acres of farm landscape to regional node for certain parcels south of the intersection of SH 21 and EFM 150. Amend approximately 3 acres to new settlement district from regional node, and amend approximately 18.9 acres from new settlement district to regional node. The area outlined in the map includes 14.5 acres of existing regional node with an approximate area of 60 acres. City of Kyle. There is a public hearing for this item. If anyone would like to come up and speak at this public hearing, you may do so now. Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. The public hearing is now closed. Anything we need to say about this one, Drew?
Just as a heads up, Will Atkinson, Director of Planning for the record, this is literally just the first public hearing where we would listen but not do any consideration at this time.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. We will move on to item number 8, zoning. 8A, consider and make a recommendation to City Council for request by Vincent Huebinger and Vincent Gerard and Associates to rezone approximately 4.68 acres of land from RS Retail Services to R1T Townhomes for property located at 1290 Bebee Road in Hayes County, Texas, Dacy Lane LLC -Z-23-0113. There is a public hearing for this item. I'm going to go to open public hearing. If there's any members of the public who would like to speak on this item, you may come up now. Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Public hearing is now closed.
You're the applicant.
We didn't receive the updated PowerPoint.
Oh, that's fine. I can go without it.
Okay.
But yeah, we signed in to speak.
Let's do our presentation first, if you don't mind, and then we can have you come up.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We'll call you up in a minute.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I was accustomed to staff presentations before the public hearing, so if y'all do it different here, then I apologize. I was waiting to speak, but after staff presentation, so I apologize.
Yes, sir. Okay, public hearing is now closed. Mr. Lutz.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. Good evening. What we have here is a rezoning for the property known as Dacy Lane Village. This is about 430 feet west of the intersection of Bebee and Dacy Lane. Property is approximately 4.66 acres, and they are looking at the R1T zoning district. This would be townhomes. This is the only allowed use in that zoning district. When staff looked at the comprehensive plan, this is Newtown Community, and the R1T is a recommended zoning district in that table. Looking at the site, this project would be looking at approximately 10 units maximum per acre. So we'd looking at 40, almost 50 units, but that's without parking, drainage, detention. We still have to go through the full-blown site plan. There is multifamily zoning to the west and then additional RS to the east. So this project does fit in line with a good stagger step between to kind of offer a buffer between the multifamily and step down. And again, townhomes is what we call a missing middle product. It's a single family type that's very valuable in most communities. So staff does recommend approval of the requested zoning change at this time, and I can answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, so I know an item similar to this has come to us before, and I believe at the time council had issues with the density versus the roads, but now the roadway, it is different now with the approved bond. Is that correct, or what? There is plans for that improvement to that roadway?
Yes, I believe at the prior rezoning request, they were concerned about the density and the amount of traffic that would be generated on Bebee Road, but yes, you are correct. Our roadbound program did include improvements to Bebee Road, widening, so staff has less concerns about the density along that. And again, based on the zoning, the adjacent zoning, and the product type that's being offered, staff does recommend approval.
Okay, thank you. If there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and let the applicant do their presentation. Yes, sir, you may come up.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Vince Huebinger with Vincent Gerard Associates. I had a PowerPoint that I didn't get back to Will. There was a couple of slides that he wanted to remove, but I'll just go over this real briefly. It's the famous Bebee Road, the S-curve that we all know. That was the problem of the previous site, the zoning case at City Council in 2020. Now that the bond package was approved in November for $50–60 million to expand that road, the traffic is not going to be an issue. What we did was we looked at this location from a retail aspect, and there's just no market for retail. There's plenty of retail in the area of that development area. But this looked more like a residential, and in between a multifamily and a convenience store. It's not going to be your standard residential. We tried a lot on a concept for patio homes and duplexes, but the zoning just wouldn't fit the site. The site lot sizes were smaller, so we looked at a couple of concepts with the townhomes, and that worked really well. We're only a walk away from Kyle Vista Park, future Kyle Vista Park. We're only a walk away from Science Hall Elementary. It's just a perfect land use, residential land use for, say, starter homes or affordable homes for little families to get in there too. I think my numbers came into 30 to 40 units, so it won't be really a high-packed, dense facility. So if you have any questions, it just looked like it would be a nice little townhome project. We had one up in Buda on Robert Light that worked really well. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And Mr. Collins, Spence Collins is here from the broker.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name's Spence Collins. I'm a commercial real estate broker with McAllister & Associates Real Estate. The landowner, Vincent, and my client, has hired me over a number of years, and we've sold the 3 retail tracts. Will, could you put up that plat, please, again, showing the existing zoning? You can see one under construction on the corner, and then the existing convenience store retail center as well. And so anyway, I've tried to sell this 4.6 acres for 4 or 5 years, pre-COVID, during COVID, post-COVID. There hadn't been any interest in a retail buyer or developer for this 4.6 acres, and I've got plenty of interest in medium density residential here to get a small townhome 30-40 unit project done on this. So I know that you could get some tax base on there, whether it's you or the council might have an issue, foregoing retail services sales tax base on there. I would argue that due to the configuration of that shape, retailers like visibility, right? And so if you did a strip center on there, kind of an L-shaped strip center along the western side and then down the south side, with parking in front of that, I would argue, and the retailers have told me, that there's no interest in anything around that southern border. And say you had a neighborhood strip center in there, you could have 1,000, 1,500 square foot units. And the first one would have some retail because it'd have visibility, right? The second space, it starts to get in there. You might have some visibility coming off Bebee there, but anything past that and down the L, there would not be any kind of retail type of use in there because it just can't be seen. Their business can't be seen from Bebee Road very well. And so you would have office uses in there if you did something like that. But with this R1T zoning on here, we can get some tax base, some assessed value on the ground, in a matter of a couple of years with that. And I would argue that if you had retail, if this zoning change was denied, it would be probably 7, 8, 9, 10 years before there would be any demand for any kind of retail, that the density would be great enough around there. So as staff has said, as Vince has said, I think the really a good land use for this is the R1T, and we can get some quality missing middle residential development in here in the near future for the citizens of Kyle. So that's what I've got to say. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer those. But
Thank you. Are there any questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend to City Council to approve the rezoning application.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved by Vice Chair Che, seconded by Commissioner James to recommend to City Council to approve item 8A. Is there any discussion on that motion? Yes, sir.
I think this is kind of one of those drums I've been beating ever since I've been sitting on this commission is we need more townhomes. We need more of this medium density in the city. We need some more starter locations. So my hope is with the changes on BB that council will approve this.
Yes, sir. Commissioner James.
Yeah, and I also want to add that with the way that's cut, it's as a mid-block retail. That's a pretty hard place to fill. I've been in commercial real estate previously, and I know how hard it is to do that. So I also think it'd be really good to get R1T right there.
Thank you. Are there any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. Motion passes. Item number 9, general discussion. Discussion only regarding Planning and Zoning Commission requests for future agenda items. Are there any future agenda items any of the commissioners would like to see? Okay. We'll move on. Item number 10, staff report. 10A, staff report by William Atkinson, Director of Planning.
Thank you, sir. Will Atkinson, Director of Planning for the record. Just a few items. So we went to the National Planning Conference last week in Philadelphia. Commissioner Onken, Kayla, and I. We had a fantastic time. The city's wonderful, and we got to explore and see that, go on a bus tour and what have you. We got a lot of awesome insight for a lot of the sessions they had. It mostly focused on parks planning, climate change, and the other one, there was one other and I can't remember it, but that's okay. But those are the two big ones. Oh, equity or equitability anyway. So it was a lot of fun. So and we learned a lot. So the state planning conference is coming up in November of this year. It's going to be in Corpus Christi. It's on, I think it's from November 8th through the 10th, but let me double check that real quick. Yes, November 8th through the 10th. So if it's something you want to do, put it on your calendars. And then that way we can get that rolling at an appropriate time. So also we have at the next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting at the end of the month, I believe it's on the 25th, I plan to have a list of the items that y'all have been wanting to see as a discussion topic, and I want to see which items you want to take forward for code amendments or in discussions as well. And then in May, we are going to have the third visit from the Verdunity Group. It's going to be the 23rd and the 24th, I do believe. And let me just double check that. Yes, so Tuesday, May 23rd and Wednesday, May 24th. So there's going to be some opportunities to interact with them as well on that. So it looks like there's going to be a council and P&Z workshop. So at this time, it's set for that Wednesday, the 24th. But if we need to adjust things, we have enough time where we can work things out and what have you. So let me know if that night works for y'all or not. You can shoot us an email. So, and that's everything I have.
Thank you. Okay, item number 11, adjournment. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Thank you. It's been motioned by myself, seconded by Commissioner Stiegel. All those in favor say aye. 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 All opposed. We are adjourned.